Hey tubers! Welcome to the last adventure of the Sunl 110cc bike. I just wanted to go front to back and take it out on one more romp, and then we could kind of put this project to bed. I also want to go through it because I'm really not very good at finishing projects, and I actually finished this one. So front to back, we had to weld up the front bumper. You can see we put that LED light on it. I used plumber's strap to do that. And the reason why is, should it take a hit, it could kind of flex a little bit and move around, hopefully without breaking. You guys remember, these things were the cause of the short circuit. So that's been installed. I finally found all, these are those plastic Fender retainers, or they hold window panels in cars. So I got them installed all over the place. I got the plastic all bolted down. When it comes to the wiring, we had to replace the connector, used the trailer type connector for that. So that's finally done. I have the CDI all tie wrapped up, but the CDI connector was no good. These things were kind of pushed in, and I kept losing connection, which caused me to lose spark. The engine wouldn't turn off. I finally had to kind of go in and pry them so that they were a little wider. So we got that straightened out. Working our way backwards, I could have put the starter solenoid back up. The carburetor I put on this thing, I put a PZ27 on it. It should have a PZ20 or 22. The PZ27 goes on 200cc type bikes. Anyway, that might be a little too big. So I did put it on there. It's on there. It seems to be working, but it might be a little too much for this, for 110 cc's. I might have to shrink the carburetor back down. It does run, it does go, everything's fine from that. Continuing to work our way backwards. Remember, I had to put the battery in, and I had to do a little work on the battery compartment. So now that all that trivia is done, it's not, oh, and when I first got it, remember, I brought it in, the engine was seized. So had to pull the engine off. I managed to tap the cylinder down within the bore, honed out the bore, managed to free up the rings. I was being Mr. Cheapo, and there we are. So everything is more or less done. I paid 25 bucks for this thing, and I probably put in, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 hours. I put a lot of time in getting all that junk done. But at this point, it is now a solid mid-sized all-terrain vehicle. If you were to buy this thing new, it would cost you, I don't know, this is probably one of those. It does have reverse, so it's probably 12 to 1500 bucks. If I was spending 12 to 1500 bucks, I would be buying a Honda. Let me just say that right up front. But if I'm spending $25, there are no Hondas out there for 25 bucks, so you're more or less stuck with this rig. Anyhow, we placed all the fuel stuff. The fuel is turned on to start this thing now. Let me put the screwdriver down before I lose it. Turn it on, right, engage the brake. Make sure my little 0 is lit up there, and I probably should have set the choke. Anyway, it seems to sit there and idle well. It might stall because once again I didn't set the choke. But it's done. I can hop right on it and to take a ride, and we're going to do exactly that. Well, folks, sorry for the wind. So one just walks up to it, make sure the gas is on, make sure the choke is on. Where's the choke? Choke's on, key on. So So this is a cold start. Sat out overnight. It's about 40 degrees. So it might be just a touch fussy to get going. It's, once again, considered cold. Try not to crash it into anything. My obstacle course back here, a little easier said than done. This is down. Now, if somebody my size actually wants to run this thing for real, I would probably put a smaller back sprocket on it, or a bigger back sprocket on it. I really don't need the speed. Personally, I'd rather have the torque. I'm only in first gear. But you guys could see I hit second. I mean, this isn't quite warmed up yet, but she bogged down. With another couple of teeth back there, it would be better. I mean, compared to a Honda, this thing has very, what I would call, tinny ride. Like when you lean it into a turn, one can kind of feel it flex. I should probably have the choke on a little bit. We're in third. Back to first. With this missing mesh, it's a little hard, quite honestly, to downshift it. You know what? Let's just keep it in second for the round. Try a little trail action. I mean, it goes okay. Once again, I tilt the scales at 200. Backfire going on there. Oversized carb will do that. Yeah, it rides like a truck. The wind's been blowing a lot, so I need to pay a little attention as, you know, you whip it around the corner or something. One could discover an uncharted tree branch, or a tree branch lower than it used to be. You know, the old forehead wreck. So what do you guys think? I've been through these numbers a bunch of times. I paid I don't fit through here anywhere. I paid 25 bucks for it. I mean, first, and yeah, you know things are bad when you gotta move stuff before you can ride around your property. So I paid 25. Battery, right, and I think I put a gasket set into it. It might have been cheap. You know, these push pin things. Put a bunch of those into it. Mostly it was time. So, I think everything considered, I don't know, 150, 200 total. It's hard to find a beat to death Honda for a couple of $100 these days. So, from that point of view, I did okay. You guys could see I could walk right up to it, start it, and ride it now. So, I don't know. I think I did okay. You guys will share your opinions. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Make sure you keep your feet down, your heads up, and I want you all to get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.